Good morning, y'all. Damn, my voice is gone. For real, for real. Previously on Kimba TV. Exclamation YouTube, make sure you get caught up on the highlight. The plans don't really change from a day-to-day basis, really. Every day I have levels to the downside. Fibonacci. And we have levels to the upside. And all you're doing is if it goes down or if it goes up, we're looking at open interest, we're looking at edge, we're looking at edge, and we're deciding, is it worth shorting? Is it worth shorting? Is it worth longing? Is it worth longing? That's it. Let's get nasty with it, y'all. Y'all think we can get up into the 70,000s today? We gonna get nasty with it, man. Let's do it. Neon is asking, are you still shorting? You are, I don't know how many months behind, so make sure you get caught up, Neon. Hold on, hey. How many people have been following with me on DOT? Where's the clip? Where's the clip? Where's the clip from 2 days ago when we go tweet, 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 tweet? Y'all remember that? Don't be mad at me if I get into something in DOT over the weekend, you know. I don't know. I'll probably wait until Sunday, but DOT is kind of ready to go too, y'all. You see it? You know, just like with this, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be looking for edge. Yeah. Y'all good? You know we on that thang. You know we on that thang on that ETH juice. How many of you guys were here 2 days ago when we first started doing TA on the ETH BTC? How many of y'all were here yesterday when everybody was asking, why ETH long? Why ETH long? How we doing? We juicing. Ladies and gentlemen, Testy's so big. I need a net. Call it test net. Yeah, so let me know if there's anything you want to talk about, but think about how many times yesterday I was like, do you guys want to talk about anything? Do you want to talk about invalidations? Do you want to talk about worst case scenario? So it just comes, like a lot of times what people are going to notice is people will suppress certain things subconsciously. So if you can't remember when we talked about this drop, if you can't remember what we talked about in terms of if it does pull back, what's the data that you want to look at? You know, then you need to try and remember. Like hands up if you got stopped out on ETH, for example. Hands up if you got stopped out on ETH. But last night, look at where we left off. Last night, I said, expect a golden pocket pullback. Okay? And remember, we drew this. Last night when I went to bed, this was the high. That's why the fib is there. Okay? But it made a higher high. Quit playing with me. So I hope no one's asking me if I got stopped out. We already talked about this last night on that fib. I said, hey, watch out for the swing high, swing fail, golden pocket retrace, motherfuckers. So that's the high, right? I already talked about this with you guys last night. So as long as you're caught up on the highlights, as long as you know what to expect, like I said, exclamation prepared. Alrighty.
You just said.
So everything has been talked about. As long as you're caught up, you're good to go. All right, but not that hard. And again, it's not even about did you hear me say it? How come you can't pull that fib? How come you don't have that blue line that needs to have a bullish retest? right? So I don't know how many times we say it. We don't get bullish on the penetration. We get bullish on the blank, right? You need to be thinking of worst case scenarios. So from a statistical standpoint, that would be a golden pocket pullback, right? We just saw S&P get a little bit short-term bearish. Okay, that's okay. If it really is bearish, it would turn the golden pocket into resistance. So until it actually loses that, why would I get bearish? And again, everything that I just said, we talked about yesterday and prepared for. Sound good? Any questions? I feel like we've already talked about everything. I'm prepared. You guys good? Can't stress it enough. Identify levels to the upside. Identify levels to the downside. Think of worst case scenario. Prepare a plan. Read the data. The most important thing is we're already prepared. Do you know how many people asked me, hey, Kimba, what's the worst case scenario on ETH? And we talked about it. Golden pocket pullback, like it's always is. Okay? That's why I had the fib like this, because we left it like that last night. Okay? How many of y'all remember talking about that? How many of y'all are really starting to understand when I say we don't get bullish on the penetration, we get bullish on the retest? This is Trident. What are we talking about? We already talked about and planned about this. Are we good? I tried to tell y'all, hey, the order flow is still good. Okay? It's going to take a little bit of time. It's making resistance. We have to flip that bitch into support. I told y'all this is $1 trillion asset. Why would it make a decision in 5 minutes? So I ask again, is everybody juicing? Right? We all juicing. Whatever it is that you needed to learn, maybe the only thing that you needed to learn this morning was, fuck, I need to watch the highlights. But ladies and gentlemen, I can't stress it enough. We are fully planned. Okay? And it's not that I talk about everything. It's that you guys ask me. You know, at least 4 people asked me, hey man, what would be the worst case scenario for this? I said golden pocket pullback. That's why we had the thing like this, because that was the high when I went to sleep last night. This is the new high. Not only is the golden pocket perfect, but that's your bullish retest. That's where you're supposed to take the long, if you knew what you were doing. And that's it, baby. You know, and then with like S&P, you either know what you're doing or you don't. Like I can see what's going on. I'm watching. Bugatti. Let's go get nasty. The math is the math. Quit playing with me. We have to turn this into support. Not that hard. Alrighty? So today, like I said, man, today is the type of day where you find out what you're lacking, what you're missing. Alrighty? Lions, let's go. We juicing, baby. Happy hunting. No one should be asking me, did your stop loss get hit? What do you mean? So you're not watching me. You're not listening. You're not listening. Let the data do you. Yeah, you can put your stop loss at break even. I harp on that because a lot of you guys psychologically don't understand and keep hoping for stuff. But if you're going to watch the data, you can, I said, this is how you can figure out if you want to close out your thing or not. So it really is, if anybody is like, oh, why didn't he tell us? Oh, it's fake, it's testnet. Well, you're just not watching the highlights. You're not listening to me. But I can't stress it enough. Everything is talked about. Just because you didn't hear it doesn't mean that we didn't talk about it. It's there. So this whole thing came about when somebody was like, hey, should I put my stop loss in profit? Should I put my stop loss at break even? At 10:30 p.m., we broke it down. At 10:30 p.m. last night, we broke it down. The worst case scenarios, how you can look at the data to see if you want to get stopped out or not. And as this was happening, literally everything that I said that I would be looking for, I executed and figured out. Right? So no reason to get stopped out. I noticed, look at this. We're already talking about this. Look at the bearish look at that. We're already talking about potentially that could happen. And what to look for. Literally everything, y'all. So, you know, during this, I'm not going to hold your dick and help you do your thing because I've already guided you to the bathroom. I've taken off your pants for you and I've helped you sit down on the toilet. All right? When this is happening, it's go time. You either know what you're doing or you don't. That's why we prep. Okay? The person that's like, Kimba, why aren't you telling me what to do? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Should I long? Should I short? What do you mean who juicing? Shut the fuck up and tell me if I should long or not. Should I close? What the fuck, man? Yo, chill. Go watch the highlights. We already talked about it. What do you mean? Stop wasting my fucking time. I'm doing me.
Daddy, chill.
I told you what to do. Go watch. What do you mean? What you mean?
Shut up, bitch. You're gonna learn today.
Quit playing with me.
What the hell is even that?
All right? That's why I always tell y'all, are we prepared? Is everybody caught up? Because we already talk about everything. And literally everything. Literally everything. Down to the bearish retest. Alrighty? So you gotta show up ready to go. You gotta show up ready to go. Who juicing? If you don't know what's happening when the volatility kicks in, you just didn't watch the highlights. Okay? Let's get nasty. But everything planned out and talked about, down to this bearish retest. Down to this bearish retest.
My trainer, he told me.
All right? So I know what I'm doing. I hope y'all know what you doing. I'm just executing my plan, y'all. Bugatti money. No surprises, Lions. Juicy fruit. 21 minutes on the 30-minute candle. Quit playing with me, Lions.
He just told us to be prepared.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There it is. There's the sweep. There's the sweep. Schwiggity schwaggity. Schwiggity schwaggity. Dink, dink. Let's go. Come on. There it is. Let's go. 20 minutes still left on the 30-minute candle close. Quit playing with me, Lions. The juice is the juice. Come on. Get nasty with it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Yeah. 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 Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. Who is prepared? Talk to me, Lions. Talk to me, Lions. Ho. Yeah. 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 All right, 20 minutes on the 30-minute candle close. Lions, talk to me. What y'all think about this math, ho? Yeah. Okay. Shwiggity!
Latuche, motherfucker, the math is the math.
Hey! Oh my God, quit playing with me. All right, we'll see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. 18 minutes on the 30-minute candle close. Let's go. Patience. The plan is the plan, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Erdal says CME made a bad low. So I'm not going to necessarily say if I agree with that or not. So look. Okay? But even if it did, okay, CME is going to be paused over the weekend. So would it matter, Erdal? Okay? And whether it makes a gap to the downside or to the upside, you may have a fill and go play. So there is a scenario, you may have confluence where you might be able to short like a weekend pump. Okay? So just a couple things to think about. Yes? You know what you could also do, Erdal, is to go back and take a look. And I'm not saying that it made a bad low, okay? But, and you would also need to think about derivatives too. But does it matter if it does it on a Friday, since it's paused? Alrighty, just stuff to think about, brother. Santa, you good? Flood is asking, what do you think about equities making all-time highs and crypto trading so weak? Is it a divergence that will be corrected or the start of a bearish trend for crypto? Well, so this is the daily chart that we've been trading and looking at for quite some time, thinking USD. So it really started with like fib shit. Where we did like extensions and sort of projections. And it really started with, it's really this fib for me and the range and the mathematical levels because it's pixel perfect. So pixel perfect bottom. And so I just feel like when this kind of deviation happens, outside of a range and we tuck back into the range, usually I feel like we see the whole side, the full rotation. And then, you know, of course, you would see the same .25 extension to that side. So the 1.25 is the 76.1. I've always had that as kind of like my target for longs. So, you know, outside of that, so, you know, like this, you know, so that being said, why can't I delete the thing? There we go. But this has been the levels that we've been doing. And we decided we got filled live on a long from there. And it's actually taking quite a beating, but that's what like this is. And I don't know if you know about MEXC, but I'm capped on up to 29. So I have one, I basically have 225 Bitcoin, and they're identical entries. So I have 50 Bitcoin from 57.7, and I have 85 Bitcoin long on Kraken from 57.2. But it was a live fill. People got to hear my exchange go perplink. It went perplink. So everybody heard me get filled and shit. So planned, anticipated, and we got filled, you know, right there basically, like 57.7, 57.2. If you were to watch the highlights here, we were already talking about, hey man, you're gonna have a golden pocket pullback. So I actually, you know, it was unreal. Let me take off the, God, it's so hard to like find the fib sometime. So we were already like anticipating this, and we didn't close, you know? Looked at it more of like a bullish retest of value area low for this whole range, if you will. And we rotated basically to value area high. These were all the bad highs that we marked. So BINK, bink, and then we also had this right here as well. So as we got filled into this long, we were talking about, hey, this could be a potential hedge short, that sweep could be a potential hedge short, and that could be a potential hedge short. And the plan was, as soon as we got up here, the only thing that we would be looking for is hedge shorts. And the only time that I would add into a new Bitcoin long was the sweep of the bad lows here. And we already had pulled the fib from there to here. And so, you know, we're looking at volume node right here. There's some EMAs and VWAPs that might help. And then you've got like your golden pocket. So we're looking basically for like a swing fail pattern right there. So, I have a hedge short, but it's a lot smaller than the 130 Bitcoin long. Obviously I'm not juicing on that short because it's just covering the long that's losing profits. So yeah, so it's a little bit hard. For me, I'm not surprised about equities making all-time highs, and I still have a long on S&P from a long time ago. I still haven't closed it. Being X is being really nice. So if you want to see the entry for that, I think you can go and watch the highlights from like a month ago. It's the exact same entry that I had since like a month ago. But yeah. Yeah, Flood. If we lose, 64, if it doesn't swing fail right there, then yeah, we're probably gonna go back down. And this whole thing was a failure. This whole thing was just a failure to breaking all time. Like, it's just sold, and now we're gonna go. But for me, it's kind of scary. We're kind of nearing the end of like bulls maintaining bullish edge, but I'm doing literally everything that I planned 2 weeks ago. So I wish I had a bigger hedge short, but that's okay. Still haven't closed any of the longs. It'll get stopped out, if it can't swing fail here or do a failed auction here. But yeah, if it, a swing fail here, I would actually be possibly looking for, more longing opportunities. So this thing's been, quite a journey. It's been quite lovely. Yeah, but basically putting my money where my mouth is and just executing the plan. Yeah. And then, I'm looking at DOT, BTC, ETH, BTC, a lot of altcoin BTC pairs to see if there's an edge, to see if there's anything I can take over there. So that's about it. Yeah, it is pretty bizarre, but whether it's breaking above 5420 and turning that into support, I mean, we did the best that we could. I think we did a pretty good job of at least, interpreting the data that was in front of us. So yeah, overall, I think this week was pretty Gucci. We put ourselves in shots where stop loss break even, and if it really worked out, we could have made a couple mil. I think we ended up with like maybe 430K or whatever, and then 200 of it I'm actually going to give away to everybody here. So how many of y'all need that $200,000 giveaway? I'm still going to give that shit out to y'all. Bugatti money. I'm still going to give out that 200K. It's testnet. Take a screenshot, brother. These levels haven't changed for a very long time. In fact, we drew that line when this happened. So we drew this May 16th. This was a month ago. We drew this line. And this line has been here for the whole time. Okay. And then I don't know if you guys remember Fibception, but the 1618 extension is also right there too. So I don't know if you want to take a picture of this, but I always tell you guys, make sure you have your volume-based levels, make sure you have your TPO-based levels, and make sure you have things like imbalances and bad lows. All right, you got to do it on CME, Coinbase, derivatives. All righty, Jeremy, instead of asking me if the CME has swept, okay, because you can see it for yourself and you have the levels marked, the question I think that's better and something that I want you to think about, Jeremy, is the CME has swept, the derivatives have not, right? When the markets close and over the weekend, CME will be paused, right? So what does that mean? Is this the first time that you're ever seeing a sweep on CME happen on Friday, but a derivative not? If it is, then that's okay. But do you know that we try to have these charts where I say you should have it say CME, Coinbase, derivatives, maybe you break it into like Binance, Bybit, I don't know, ETF, whatever the fuck it might be. And so you're going to say, okay, well, if CME has swept, if Coinbase has swept, but derivatives haven't, Binance hasn't, Bybit hasn't, ETF has, what does it do on a weekend? If CME hasn't swept, Coinbase hasn't swept, but derivatives have swept, what does it mean? You should have these notes if it's hard for you to remember. And remember, it's not like a generalizable black or white. It's what's been happening recently that you want to rely on. So it's a constant note-taking process and remembering. Does that help, Jeremy? Sounds good, brother. So CME has swept, yes. CME is also going to be closed over the weekend, right? Derivatives have not swept. Alrighty, and then here's a little extra tidbit too. I bet most of you guys are gonna know exactly what I'm gonna say. Regardless of what CME has done or what derivatives is going to do over the weekend, when Sunday comes and CME opens back up, there most likely is going to be a gap. If it's a gap to the downside, are you going to think about a fill and go? If it's a gap to the upside, are you gonna think about a fill and go? And you know what's cool? We actually got a practice of that this week. So you could watch the Monday highlights and see how that played out. But again, identify levels of interest, have levels to the upside, have levels to the downside, and then try to anticipate the data that you think is going to give you the edge to actually trade it. So maybe you're looking for a pullback and grabbing all the single prints or a golden pocket, et cetera, et cetera. Just don't put blind limits in. Make sure that you have, an edge. What y'all think about that? And again, talked about. Is there anybody that is going to be taking this single print and bearish confirmation short? Hands up. How many of y'all are going to take, whether it goes from there or goes from here, how many of y'all are going to be looking to see if there's going to be some sort of bull div? Okay. And you're going to be trying to get some sort of like failed auction. And how many of y'all aren't going to do shit because it's the weekend? That's actually kind of smart too, you know what I'm saying? So ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, this is how .BTC reacted. Gentlemen, are you seeing this shit? Are you seeing this, guys? At the end of all of that. So what is that? This is DOT. But look at this. You have 3 hours and 10 minutes on this daily candle close. So if you want to take a stab at DOT, the next 3.5 hours are going to be pretty exciting for you. The month ain't done, so we got to keep our head on a swivel. I still need everybody's best on Monday. Hey, Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss. Tell these people what happens, especially the Lion Cubs, what's going to happen if they don't use stop loss. He said he's going to smack the shit out of you. Hey, love y'all, man. Have a great night. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. Bugatti, money, the math is the math. Stay safe. I'm out. Peace, y'all. Hey, market makers, get nasty on them. All right, I'm out.
Get it, Kimber was.